Why Android phones are not safe, and why Google spies on everything you do, and how they do it in every app from every company, and that hardly anybody, if anybody at all, has realized. And it's about the Google GBoard, of course. So if you have an Android phone, you can download another keyboard and install it, like I do, but I guarantee you, by the time you wake up and switch your phone on the next day, it will be automatically set back to GBoard. And if you delete GBoard from your Android phone, which is the Google keyboard, it will re-download itself because you can't delete it. And so the only way to get around it is to download a separate keyboard from a smaller company, which will also collect your typing data. But the thing is, with Android, it doesn't matter whether it's Google GBoard or some other company's silly billy keyboard, or the T-board, or the P-board, or the lick my butt board, yeah? But let's take GBoard, because this is the most disgusting, because it keeps reinserting itself. Now, you think you open Line, or Facebook Messenger, or your SMS, or you even open not Chrome browser on your Android, you download another browser like the Brave secure browser, and you start typing things, yeah? Or you send photos, and you go to Facebook in your browser on your Samsung Galaxy tablet or your phone, and you start typing or uploading photos or taking photos or speaking voice to text. You're in Facebook, so Google can't see you, can they? Yes, they can. Because the keyboard you're using to chat in Facebook Messenger, in Line, in WhatsApp, on TikTok, in Instagram, on forums that are, and in private messages, and everything is a GBoard. And by using the Google GBoard, what it is doing, it's logging everything and analyzing every piece of data that goes through that keyboard, regardless of whether you're not in a Google app or not. So the Google GBoard gets to spy on everything that everybody on every Android phone is doing in Line, Facebook, Facebook Messenger, WhatsApp, YouTube, comments in forums, search questions, even not in Google search, even if it's MSN Bing or DuckDuckGo. You're not hiding from Google, because their keyboard is what you're using to type, take photos, upload photos, speak into, search with, and that's all logged on the Google servers. And it doesn't matter whether you're on a private chat room, on a private website that's paid members only, for private, let's say a swingers club, for something, people who like to be promiscuous, yeah? Private club for swingers. Yeah, well, your GBoard is collecting all the data, and it's also looking if the people you're talking with have a Google account and collecting their data as well, and connecting you. You know, like detectives put photos on a cork board and start putting pins with strings connecting the connections between people. So if you want some privacy, keep deleting GBoard every day from your Android phone and install a different keyboard. But keep going back into settings and looking in your list of apps to see if GBoard appears again, because it does on mine. And I keep deleting it and putting a green board, or I don't know what board I've got from the smallest company I could find. That was just a simple board, and I know I don't mind. That company is getting my data, it's sharing and selling it a bit, but it's not Amazon, it's not Apple, it's not Google. And so give them a chance to build themselves up to become a competition to those monolithic giants. Let David have a go. Yeah? Let David have some data instead of just giving it to Goliath. Yeah? So I'm still giving away my data using a different keyboard. However, Google owns Android, and so Android phones are anyway, with or without the GBoard, constantly sending your behavioral data towards Google. And you may notice, before I finish, about the GBoard and how evil it is, the God board, because, for example, Apple, iMessage, their keyboard also logs everything you do in every app, but it doesn't log it in the same way as Google. And Google is already 10 steps ahead of everybody else with Google DeepMind and multi-language voice recognition. Even without telling them, change language in mid-sentence, it will know. And that's a monopoly. If Google gets too far ahead of everybody else, nobody else can catch up. That's a monopoly, which is illegal, in America at least. And that's where Google is, mainly. So to avoid monopoly, you can't avoid sharing your data, but share it with smaller companies and avoid the big companies, because they need slowing down. While the whole point of capitalism, when they privatized British Rail and British Telecom and all of the British services like British Electrics and British Telecom and so on, the travel and the British Airways, to let private companies come in and take over, is that because if you have different companies competing, the competitiveness should increase the quality and lower the price for the consumer. That was the claim. Unfortunately, that's not what's happened with privatization. What's happened is that some have become Goliaths and have a monopoly, and others have become dwarves from little people from Lilliput, the other companies. And so I think it's time for David to topple Goliath. So we need a lot more Davids to grow up into Goliaths. Actually, we don't want any Goliaths. What we want is lots of medium-sized companies competing for each other, and not one of them gets so far ahead of the other that he can just slow down and drive off to the finish line knowing that nobody's ever going to catch him up. So beware of the dangers of GBoard, because it incepts and listens to every app you open, because you're using a Google keyboard to type things in Facebook Messenger, Line, WhatsApp, and emails, and YouTube comments, forum comments, and even in private chat rooms and groups. So, firstly, don't get an Android phone. Secondly, don't make Apple richer by getting an Apple phone. Thirdly, try not to use a SIM card or a mobile phone at all unless you need to. And if you don't want to be tracked at all, buy one of those really cheap old Nokia phones. It'll still get tracked, but you won't be able to go on the internet. It will track you through Bluetooth and radio waves from your SIM card, which still doesn't help very much. But if you do want some privacy, the best thing is don't carry a SIM card, don't carry a phone, don't use a phone, which for YouTube creators is difficult because now websites they want you to have a phone for surveillance. So now, as a creator for YouTube, for example, I myself, I can't log in a browser on my laptop unless I go look for my phone. This is, you have an Android phone, go get your Vivo phone or your Samsung Galaxy and click, yes, this is me, to confirm that it is you logging in. So what I've done now is logged out of Google on my Android devices so that it doesn't do that. So when I go on MacBook and I log into YouTube or Google, it asks me to confirm by email. Well, okay, you know that other email anyway, Google, but you're not forcing me to tell you my phone number so you can track my whereabouts, where I am in the world all the time and where I'm shopping and what I'm doing, because it's not for securing your account to confirm the login using your phone when you're on a laptop. That makes you walk around the house thinking, where's my phone? I need to get into Google on my laptop, and I can't get in until I press this confirmation on my phone. Why does Google think I always sit with my phone next to me at my laptop? My phone might be at home and I might be at work, for God's sake. And now I can't log into Google because I've got to drive home 30 kilometers to get my phone. Or call my wife and ask her, what does it say on my phone? Or can you press the yes, it's me button? It's just all an attempt to get your phone and force you to carry a mobile phone with a SIM card. And if you don't believe me of the dangers of this, then I would look on YouTube for the search about Jesse Ventura talking about why he doesn't have a mobile phone and why he's moved to Mexico and thrown any kind of radio or internet kind of modern equipment away. Because he was the governor of, I believe, Arizona. Very famous wrestling guy, yeah, who became governor of Arizona. I think it was Arizona. And now he's left America and he's living in Mexico. He's thrown away his mobile phone because of what he learned when he was in government. But GBoard, most definitely, you don't want it. You don't want it on your phone. Because it's like having a spy on your... It is the spy in your phone. It's one of the many spies, but this one is a big one. And they're getting advantage over Apple and Huawei and other companies because, well, Huawei, they're stealing from Huawei, and every other Android phone of every company has a GBoard in it. And even if you have a Samsung keyboard, if you're not looking, GBoard will switch off the Samsung keyboard and put itself in as GBoard. Even if you haven't downloaded it from the App Store, it will download itself and install itself and put itself as default. I know because I have to switch it off and delete it every day from my phone, or every 2 days, 3 days. So there you go, the dangers of GBoard. There's the webmaster once again with an unorthodox talk, signing off.